Welcome to Let's Get Dumb, the podcast where I, comedian Joe Kilgallon, and comedian Jonah Jurkens like to ask dumb questions, tell dumb stories, make dumb lists, and just have a dumb old time with you. Jonah, how are you?
I'm fantastic, Joe. For the people watching, we are flipped right now. I'm on the opposite side that I normally am, and I think it threw us see already. It's the USS off. I think it's already throwing me off a little bit. Clearly, I just fumbled a lot.
That's okay.
And you fucked up my last name a little bit.
Jonah Jurkens?
Yeah.
Did I not say it right?
Kind of put a G in there.
Jonah Jurkens?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did I, Austin?
Austin, we get that?
I don't know.
I don't think so. Maybe I did.
Maybe because I was the
Jonah
whole time
Jenkins?
I was like, yeah.
I like to call you Jenkins as a joke sometimes.
Yeah.
You famously were brought on
40-year-old
stage as
black man?
Jenkins.
Yeah.
2 shows we did brought you on Jenkins.
Right.
The one in Arizona was great because the host had the most professional beginnings to a comedian I've ever met.
Yeah.
And then the most unprofessional after that.
It's insane.
He had like a computer out. He had spreadsheets out. He had like all these things where it's like, I take my jokes very seriously. I take stand-up very seriously.
He knew your past.
He knew my past. He did homework on me. He knew
Yeah.
like what I'd been in and what I had done. And so I remember being like, man, this guy's a fucking pro.
I
Look at
know.
this fucking guy. He asks you, how do you want to be brought on stage? You tell him. He then brings you on stages. You know him from the Let's Get Down podcast.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jonah Jenkins. And
Yeah.
I'm like, man, got the podcast wrong, got the name
Everything
wrong.
Is it a Down syndrome podcast?
Yeah.
Let's Get Down?
Let's Get Down. Yeah.
That's
Well, Let's
great.
Get Down could be a podcast about let's fuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Sorry.
I like the other one where we critique actors' choices on playing mentally challenged people.
That's let's get down.
It's just like, yeah. Where I'm like, yeah, Corky, that guy was horrible. And they're like, that guy was actually had Down syndrome. I was like, oh, okay. He was great then. He was
Great
actually
actor then.
so incredible, which was great. My favorite thing is I love it when somebody fucks up an intro or your name when they're reading off a piece of paper.
Oh, yeah.
First off, you look so unprofessional with a piece of paper, but I'm like, I get it. You don't want to get their name wrong. But then you get their name wrong. It's like, what do you think that piece of paper says? Like, you're doing great? Believe in yourself?
Yeah. Trust the process.
Yeah.
What has been, as a comedian, when you've hosted a show, what's been the worst intro you've ever given?
Ooh, there's a lot here. I would say the worst that didn't stop the whole weekend was Tommy Johnigan, who's a very funny comedian. When I first started, and I looked up to him so much, I thought he was so funny. I hosted for him, and I kept calling him Johnny Tom again. But I would go Johnny Tom again, Tommy Johnny, Johnny Tom, like that, and I would fuck that up forever. Which people who listen to the podcast, I fuck up things all the time, anyways. So now I'm worried about it. So now I'm gonna keep doing that. And then he thought it was so funny. He was like, "Can you just please do that the whole weekend?" And then also like, "Can you just be my host forever if that's what you're gonna do?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that
That's awesome.
for sure." Do you?
I don't have any specifically because I'm such a pro.
Yeah.
But I will
true.
share. I will share our late great friend Dan Ronan.
Okay.
He had this great story. I remember him telling me once where he was hosting for Hal Sparks at the Improv.
Okay.
And Hal Sparks had been in a show called Queer as Folk.
Yeah.
And he introduced me as, you know him from Queer as Fuck.
Yeah.
Give it up for Hal Sparks.
Yeah.
So I always like that one. Just butchering a credit is always funny. I've had, here's where I've been unprofessional as a host for a stand-up comedy show. I did this at the Hollywood Improv, at the Improv Lab, where I'm hosting like showcase style, so like 7 or 8 comedians. Twice the comedian finished their set and I was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Because I was outside fucking around with other comedians.
Of course.
And just, not being a professional. And
Yeah.
I had to sprint back on stage and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, everybody. Give it up for that person again. And I'm out of breath. And they're like, where the fuck were you? You
Yeah.
have one job to do. Stop
Yeah.
leaving the room. I just couldn't help myself.
I was hosting at the Laugh Factory once, and it was a packed house. It's a pretty big theater. It's a long way to go from the back bar to the front stage. And I guess they got lit early. And I think Austin just farted, by
Austin
the way.
100%
Yeah, I'm pretty
just
sure.
farted,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. And then he started shaking it off like, don't mention it. But
What
it's
a
like,
fucking pro.
if the mics didn't pick that up, that is
No,
insane.
I didn't. I turned it away.
Okay.
Because I thought
If
it
our
was-
mics didn't pick that up, that's
I clearly
incredible.
was trying to be quieter. And
I
then
felt
it
that in
didn't
my
work.
feet.
I'm
I felt
sorry.
that in my feet. It's insane. That was white, and now it's not. Now it's off white.
Sorry.
It's
this
crazy.
is a birthday gift I'm wearing, everybody. Nirvana shirt
Oh,
from
you
It
got
fits you.
Jonah.
Yeah, it fits you
Who
good.
famously said Nirvana fans are overrated, which is fine. It's fine.
I
don't
think
wanna
they're
rehash it.
no. I didn't say overrated. I said Nirvana fans are fucking horrible.
I said the fans are horrible,
The fans are horrible.
which
And then you don't like Soundgarden fans.
No, I don't like Alice in Chains fans now.
That's
Oh.
crazy.
I used to, but they're the worst.
Because the clip that we put online got a lot of chatter on that
From
one.
Alice in Chains fans.
Yes. And they were
Because-
really on my side on that.
Well, no, I don't want to get into it,
hated
but
your
Alice
hat.
in Chains
And they
fans.
hate, the Nirvana fans hated my hat. They decimated me.
There's so many fans here.
Yeah. So Alice in Chains was a band I used to like a lot, but they were to me someone made a video that I ended up seeing where it's like here's what your favorite grunge band says about you.
Yeah.
And for Alice in Chains, it was like, you like heavy metal, you don't like grunge, but if you have to pick, you're picking Alice in Chains.
Right.
Alice in Chains was the closest to the 80s heavy metal that kind of Nirvana decimated a little bit
Yeah.
as far as what mainstream music became. Because they, heavy metal and not like heavy metal because Metallica still lasts around, but like that whole, the fuck would they call like the hair metal bands?
Yeah.
Nirvana kind of stopped them in their tracks and were like, enough of your shit.
Yeah.
We're now the mainstream. So a lot of those people never forgave Nirvana for that. So they became hardcore Alice in Chains fans. Now, I loved Alice in Chains and always thought they were underrated, but their fans have showed me that they're fucking overrated.
Yeah.
Because I went back being like, am I missing something? I'm not. They're an awesome band. Lane Staley's voice is great. They're great musicians, but they lack melody. They have no
Okay.
fucking melody.
Yeah.
Every song is basically a 2.5 note range, not singing wise, because he's got some octaves.
Yeah.
But as far as like the music goes, and it's just like, it's fine. It's fucking fine. It's for dudes who don't know how to get pussy, right? That's true. It's like, that's their band. Their band is like, I'm a man in a box. I have to jerk off in a box because women won't talk to me.
Yeah.
And that's why they hate Nirvana, because women like Nirvana. Nirvana was probably the band. That's why Nirvana was huge mainstream, because they had as many female listeners probably as male listeners. And those dudes think women shouldn't like music or anything, and they should just service them. And that's why they're very like the way they are. So fuck Alice in Chains. Retroactively.
Clip that out.
I do want to tease what we're going to talk about this episode, because I'm excited for this one. You and I have a great wedding we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about long drives, which we both had to deal with. Me in a harder way than you
Yeah, I
had.
want to talk about that.
Actually, no.
No?
Forget the drives thing. I'll tell you why afterwards. We're going to talk about this great wedding we went to.
It's a great wedding.
We'll talk about that a little bit, but we got a top 5 things in which you don't want to see at a wedding.
Right.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. Top 5 we're over it at a wedding things.
Yes, pretty
Yeah.
much. Our lists are different, but in great ways.
Right.
So I'm very excited about that. But no, I was going to say this was a birthday present. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. It's a great shirt. Jonah's a big t-shirt guy. Have you told the listeners how many t-shirts you own?
No. Have I?
Yes, you have.
Okay. Well, I don't know why you
Well,
said
we don't
it.
have a
You
clip
said-
for it, so let me tell it again.
Producer Austin said something like like a piece of shit.
Gassy McGee, chill out over
Yeah,
there.
chill out over there, Gassy McGee.
I'm letting you reset. Go ahead.
Oh.
Jonah.
Yes.
Have you told the listeners how many t-shirts you have?
I don't think I have. I guess I believe I have.
Crazy.
Ask me again.
Dude, all right, let me start over again.
Uh-huh.
This t-shirt, I love it. It's awesome. It's a gift from you.
Yeah.
You're like the t-shirt king.
I like t-shirts.
Have you told the t-shirts? Have you told the t-shirts how many listeners you have? Have you?
Do you want to take it again?
Of course.
Okay.
Jonah, have you told the listeners how many t-shirts you have?
I've mentioned it a few times on the podcast, but yeah, I can talk about it again.
Bring it on.
I have a bit of a t-shirt buying problem, and if you've noticed by watching the podcast, I try not to repeat a t-shirt, but targeted ads, man. Like, for me, it's like if I get a compliment on a t-shirt, I'm buying every t-shirt from that website. That is just what I do, and I've been getting a lot of fucking compliments lately. A lot of black guys being like, "Hey, nice t-shirt, man."
Dude,
and then
why?
I'm on my phone. I'm on my phone walking away, being like, buy, all of it.
That's another great question, though. Why is it a compliment from a black guy to a white guy just means more?
It just
Hold
does.
on. Hold the thought. If I say to you, great shirt, you're like, oh, cool. Joe likes my shirt. But if a black man says to you, it's a great shirt, you're like,
Yeah.
you just feel better about your day.
Yeah. You know why? Because if you tell me it, I'm like, what do you know? You fucking like Nirvana. And then these guys are just like, nice shirt. I'm like, dude, you're a black guy that likes Nirvana. Of course. Like, thanks, man. You know what I mean? Because it's like harder. I just wanted
You're
to
really
shit on
reaching for the
I was
Nirvana
really
thing.
reaching
I
on that
know.
one. I just
I'm
want to
really
shit on you a
wildly
little bit.
disappointed
I
in
know.
you.
I know.
It's all right, man.
The face of an. Can we do a close
He
up?
wants to take it again.
Joe did a
We're going
really
to take
good
it again.
setup.
Yeah.
We're going to take it again. It was a great
It was a
setup.
good setup for a clip, and Jonah blew it.
All right, let's start it again. By the
know-
way,
okay, fine.
It
I got
sounds
it.
like we're pissing off the people who listen to the audio episodes, but there's not enough of you for us to give a fuck. By the way,
Well, don't do that.
I don't wanna say
We
that.
have a lot of listeners.
by the way, loyal listeners, we love you so much. There's a gnat just fucking dominating this episode right now.
Yeah.
Little piece of shit bug. But dude, seriously, man, think about it this way. Why is it that as a white dude, when I get complimented from a black guy, it means
Yeah.
way more than when a white guy compliments me?
You know why? Because it feels like this. When I'm with my black friends and they pass another black guy and they go kind of like, what's up? Like that. It feels the closest thing to that.
It kind of feels like they're letting you in.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, hey, man, like, I see you.
And as
Like, I hear you. I see you. Like, having a guy go like, hey, man, I see you with that shirt. I like that. That's good. But if like another white guy does that with another white guy, I'm just like, get away from me, fucking perv. Like, it's just like,
why are you looking at my shirt?
yeah, what?
dork?
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, you wish you had this shirt.
Like, think about the word I just used there, dork. You call a white guy dork. You never call
Yeah.
a black guy dork. And if you call a black guy dork, he's got to be like next level dork.
Like next level dork.
Like, really
he's a
bad.
stand-up comedian or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something fucking terrible there. Because I thought about that. Like, as white dudes, we know our history.
What do you call a black guy? Like goofy? Me goofy.
Like of a. Well, here's the thing with the word dork. Have I brought this up before? So I have a thing. Nerd used to be a big insult. To me, nerd's not an insult anymore. And nerd isn't even negative anymore. Nerd to me just means you have a lot of passion about something.
Oh, see, I like taking that back. I think nerd to me is now becoming a good insult.
You're still considering it an insult?
Yeah,
don't
like I
consider
think
it
it's how you
insult.
hit it. Like you can't be like nerd. You'd be like fucking nerd. Like
Yeah, but even then it feels like you're reaching. Because to me, like, again, a nerd, there's so many different types of nerds. That's why it's not an insult anymore. There's wrestling nerds,
Right.
which just means, oh, you love wrestling. There's sports nerds. Like,
Yeah.
you could be a basketball nerd. Oh, you just love the NBA. Like, that's why it doesn't hit the way it used to. So if I want to me, the new word to describe someone where it's like, dude, you're too much, is dork.
yeah,
It's like, look at this fucking dork.
I like knob. Fucking knob.
You fucking knob.
Yeah.
Very UK of you.
Is it a UK thing?
UK, they say knob a lot.
I just think like with like kind of like our or my kind of Wisconsin accent, I feel like it hits a little fucking knob. Like
Yeah.
is that is in there?
because they say knobhead a lot. You
A
know what a
knobhead.
knobhead is?
Yeah.
A dickhead.
Yeah, dickhead.
Because the
Yeah.
end of your dick looks like a doorknob.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the end of my dick.
And then I think that song "Slob
Turn
on my
it.
knob, like corn on the cob." Yeah. Remember that song?
Yeah, what was that? Some corn on the cob. Is that fucking
I don't remember. You can make it up. I don't even know.
it's a rap song.
But I can tell you what. I don't know, but I bet you have a T-shirt about it.
Fuck yeah, you do, man.
For fucks. I get, and I have talked about this before, but now I get so many targeted ads that of shirts I've already bought because I bought so many. I'm just like, give me a fucking new T-shirt, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, show me some other stuff I want.
Yeah, man. Don't you know? Don't you
Yeah.
know my purchasing history.
Yeah, and that was a problem when I went to Europe. Like my girlfriend was like, you can't wear your vintage tees or like your graphic tees. Like then it screams American. And I'm like, that's all I fucking have. So then I bought all these. So now I'm on a whole new finding the perfect T-shirt fit, which is insane. You know what the best one is? Whitesville, which is a crazy name for it. I believe
That's
it's
the name of a
Japanese
company?
basket. Yeah, supposedly it's like the one we were talking about this off camera. It's one of the you see like on the bear or like because like you know the heavyweight tees are in right now is like the whole thing.
Oh, t-shirts with some thickness.
Yeah, some thickness in there. Yeah,
Why are those in?
because of the like because like heartthrobs like what's the face on the bear?
But here's my thing though. You can't really tell a shirt's heavyweight.
You can tell.
Feel.
Yeah,
Really?
you can tell now.
Can
It's
you
all the
tell,
double
Austin?
stitch. It's like the double stitch now.
You can tell when a shirt looks comfy. That's why I call it comfy, like the heavyweight.
Oh, see, I
It's
find
certain
these not to be
feel
comfy.
to
I
it.
find these to be a little cumbersome.
Oh,
You'd rather
Is that
soft.
Allison change?
Cumbersome?
Yeah.
No, that's not an Allison Chain song.
Okay. Damn.
I don't think they have a song called
this is a
Cumbersome.
Jonah reaching podcast.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah, it
you
is.
know,
I'm pretty tired.
I thought of this with the reason why as white dudes we love compliments from black guys. It's because like you know the whole fucking there's some history as Americans,
Yeah.
right? It's not great. So when a black guy gives you a compliment, it almost feels like I'm this close to being invited to the barbecue.
Yeah.
I want to go to the cookout, and you want to be in that circle because
Yeah.
then it's like, hey, even though I know you're a whitey, even though to be fair to myself, my family was not here during all those really bad times, which is great.
It's good.
But like, you know, you
I tell you something mine
feels
was.
cool. Feels cool.
Yeah.
You know, it feels really cool.
It does
Oh,
feel cool. It feels cool when somebody like kind of runs you down. This happened to me a bunch of times when I'll go on my walks from the summer. Like someone will run me down and then I have my buds in. Someone's like, what the fuck you want, man? And he's like, I take my buds off. I go, what'd you say? And he goes, nice shirt. And I was like, fuck, thanks, man. Put my buds back in and then I got a little pep to my step for the rest of my walk. I got a little this, little that, little this, little that.
I'm convinced, though, you're talking about like, you know, white family histories. I'm convinced that every white person, when they look up their like ancestry,
They're a
like,
little
records,
afraid.
they're looking to see when did they come over and
Yeah.
what year was it and what was
That's-
going on in America at the time.
My uncle got that done for us and sent me like a big like spreadsheet of like all of it, and it went back pretty far, and I was
Like
like,
the-
I don't want to look.
I came over on the Mayflower.
Yeah,
far
yeah,
back,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
So I was like, I'm not looking because I don't want to know. You know what I mean?
I was looking at mine being like, okay, the earliest one came over 1894. Fuck yeah, right? You know what I mean? Like, when was the Civil War again? All right,
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. Probably just a couple bad comments, and that's all we needed. That's good.
All good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Well, Jonah and I, everybody, we went to a wedding, right? And it was a
Mm-hmm.
really good friend of ours, a man who's been on the podcast, one of the early episodes. A guy by the name of Marty DeRosa, who I'll still always call a comedian, even though he's not really doing stand-up right now.
No.
He's still an actor, doing voiceover work as well.
Mm-hmm. You could tell he's an actor because during their speech, which is funny because he does a lot of commercial work, during the speech, the father-in-law said, actor, he's the face of X company. And underneath Marty's breath, I heard him correct him, where he was just like, it's not that, it's this one. Like, you could tell he was just kind of like, hey,
Yeah, because he
fuckhead.
said the wrong chain restaurant.
Yeah,
thing in the
yeah. I don't
commercials
know
for.
if Marty wants us to speak about it. So
I don't think it's a secret if you live in the places where these commercials
I thought
are.
about that after I said that just now.
Well, I want you to say because I don't remember what the fuck it is again.
That's why I didn't say it because I didn't remember what
You
it
don't
was
remember
either.
He
So
thought it
when
was
it's,
he thought it was Golden Corral, but it's not. It's
so when the father said that, I was like, oh, it's Golden Corral, and then I heard Marty go, it's this one.
yeah,
It's not Churches, but it's something.
It's
It's a
something
southern
with a
based.
C. I think it's burgers. It specializes in something, but
It's not
like
Checkers.
there's a
Clucks?
No, there's a restaurant chain in like Texas mostly, and I think it's some in Oklahoma, like Southwest. That no,
Not Whataburger. It's a chicken. It's mainly chicken.
Is it mainly chicken?
Yeah.
So anyway, there's some chain that's down in those 3 or 4 states that a good friend of ours whose wedding we were just
Yeah.
attending.
This is the face of.
He's like their main guy.
Yeah.
He does all the commercials, and he even did a thing recently where like at Texas Rangers games, they'd be like, "All right, Rangers fans, time to do like you know."
Yeah.
So yeah, he's doing great with that stuff, and he's one of my best friends, one of my oldest friends in stand-up comedy easily.
Mine too.
Him and the guy I drove up there with, Danny Callis, and I'll talk about my drive up there. I can talk about that briefly.
Okay.
'Cause it's pretty funny in a sense, or like just ridiculous.
Right. So I want to interrupt you because I want to tell you I knew about your drive before you did because I had a conversation with the person you drove up with, Danny Callis, you said the name, who's also a good friend of mine. Like I know you've been friends longer, but like he was like, dude. By the way, Danny Callis is a very Chicago accent, so he kind of always have to. So if we have to do the accent when we talk about him.
Yeah,
But he was
it's hard
like,
not
dude, he's like, I haven't drank in 80 days. I've been on this diet. I've lost all this weight. I am going to make all the stops on the way up. It's a 7-hour drive. And he's just like, I'm going to stop at here. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to get drinks and food. He was so excited about he made it seem like it was going to be like a little bar crawl. But the reality is it was just you driving him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, there's no way Joe's going to be okay with that.
I know when you said it to me, I laughed really hard because you like described it and you're like, Joe's gonna say no to all that shit.
Right.
And here's why: because he didn't even mention stopping at bars. He mentioned like stopping at different like sightseeing places.
Okay.
And to our Michigan listeners, I love the state of Michigan. I do a lot of shows in Michigan.
Uh-huh.
My stepmom, her family's from Michigan. I love them to death. It's a great state, right? What I don't want to do though, I've been to Michigan a million fucking times.
Right.
I'm exaggerating, but I've been there a lot.
Right.
A lot. I was there recently. And so when he said to me, he's like, all right, dude, 7-hour drive, but why don't we break it up a little bit because that's a long drive. I'm like, okay.
I like him selling you on this
I'm like,
already.
all right, where's he going? He's like, well, I look at it this way, dude. Like Grand Rapids, we go through it to get to that town. But, you know, we've been to Grand Rapids a bunch. But if we go just only like 45 minutes out of the way, we could go to Lansing, Michigan, check out the capital. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the capital of Michigan.
Right.
Like nobody, like people in Michigan don't
give
go
a
out of their way to see Lansing.
Yeah, right.
Maybe like it's like an 8th grade field
There's like
trip
people
for
in
them.
Illinois going to go see Lincoln. Like it's even that has more
Springfield, by the way, is the name of
See,
it.
exactly.
Yeah. So you know the name of the capital.
Yeah.
But that's where
Well, I know Lincoln's from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not called Lincoln. There's another town called Lincoln. Anyhow, it's like, dude, I just didn't give enough of a fuck. But here's where the drive to it's a 7-hour drive from Chicago to Sheboygan, Michigan, which is like way up top. It's like on Lake Huron.
Mm-hmm.
On the way, I pick him up. We're hitting downtown traffic in Chicago. He's like, dude, I'm pretty hungry. Why don't we hit up Rico Benny's, which is this great spot on like 24th Street in the south side, like Bridgeport neighborhood. And I've been there and I love it. And I'm like, dude, Rico Benny's is the best breaded steak sandwich you'll ever have. Let's go. I was pumped. Great idea. We're off to a good start on this road trip.
Yeah.
We eat the sandwich. Feeling good. We get back on the highway.
Energy for the ride.
Hell yeah. We get back on the highway. We get a little traffic. He goes, hey, what do you say we go up at 80th Street and hit up Harold's Chicken? I'm like, we just fucking stopped and ate.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, but dude, Harold's is the best. I'm like, I know Harold's is like world famous, but like again,
Right.
let's go. No, he convinced me. We stopped for food twice before leaving the city limits on a 7-hour drive.
So you said different camera.
It was fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
The chicken was pretty great though.
Oh, you did get chicken.
You did get the chicken.
And let's be honest here. Like, and I don't think this is like speaking whatever, but like when you're in the 80s streets in Chicago, it can get a little
Not the best neighborhood
not
statistically.
the best statistically, right?
Yeah, if you were to do a top 30 most dangerous neighborhoods in the country,
Yeah.
it would be in there.
It'd be up there.
It would be in the top 30.
Yeah, right.
Because I did Google it while I was waiting for him because I'm like, if we're stopping a second time, I'm not getting out of the car. And it wasn't. Look, you gotta be honest about some stuff.
Yeah.
It would have been fine. Like I'm not one of those people that's afraid of neighborhoods that are a little dangerous.
Right.
And look,
Especially during the day.
we'd be lying if we didn't say it was a little dangerous.
Right.
But I had a lot of important shit in that fucking 2008 minivan.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
I had to watch it.
You got kids to look out for.
I had to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't in there, but I had to watch it.
Well, I mean, like, yeah.
Are you implying that they would steal the car seats out of there?
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad you made the implication and not me.
Yeah.
But no, I just didn't want to get out of the fucking car again. But yeah, it was.
And who eats a huge breaded steak sandwich and is just like, you know, can go for some fucking fried chicken.
I know. To be fair, we split the steak sandwich in half. Because I
Okay.
told him, I'm like, dude, I just ate. I'm not really hungry. Because
Yeah.
like a normal person, when you're leaving at around 11 a.m. for a road trip, I ate a little bit before. That way we didn't have to stop right away.
Right.
Especially since I knew we were going to hit Chicago traffic. I figured we'd stop in Indiana or go out to Michigan or something like that. But yeah, he was funny about it. And then when we were driving up there, he was trying to find Detroit style pizza for us to eat, which I remember being like, I don't even care. I've had it
Right.
before. It's fine. He said, we got it. We're up and we're in Michigan. I'm like, yeah, but we're not in Detroit.
Right.
So I don't know how good northern Michigan's Detroit style pizza is.
Yeah.
And he goes, I
He
found
goes
a Jets.
Detroit. It's a 50-minute detour.
It would have been way longer. But he
Yeah.
was like, all right, I found a Jets. And I'm like, there's Jets in Chicago. Jets is a pizza chain. I'm not stopping for Jets.
Right.
And we were so close to the destination and we wanted to get there and have some drinks that night with Marty, the groom, and you and a few whoever else was going to be up there because the wedding's the next morning or next afternoon, you could say, I guess. No, it was a little before. It was morning, 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so I was like, dude, let's just eat when we get to town. And he's calling the small town bar that we're going to. We're going to a pretty small town, population 4,800.
Uh-huh.
And I was delirious at this point because I've been driving for so long. I was tired.
Yeah.
So I was a little slap happy.
And you just zone out. You're just checked out everything.
Right?
When you're driving like that.
It's natural to do that. So as I'm driving up there, I was like, hey, call the bar that we're going to go to and see what kind of food they have. See if I was a little delirious. So I'm like, see if they got a little bit of little pork chop. Maybe they got a little grilled cheese. Maybe they got some chicken wings. Like I was just being silly because I was so fucking tired of driving.
You say
for
maybe
like
if they have
7
little
hours.
groceries.
No.
Was that the second thing you said?
No, grilled cheese.
Oh, grilled cheese.
Maybe a little, that's all the groceries?
I thought you said
a little grilled cheese?
Are they like, oh, maybe little groceries? Do they have like a little mart in the back? Do they have can I get a little? Is it a little Go Puff stuff?
So we kept saying it like that the whole time. And then he's laughing as I said it that way. And he calls the person. He puts on speaker. So right away, I'm like, this fucking idiot's going to do something. And he calls her, puts on speaker and says, hey, is your kitchen still open? And she goes, no, actually our kitchen closed, but the bar's open till 2. And he's like, oh, bummer. So you don't have a little pork chop? And she's like, no, we have beer. And he goes, you don't have a little grilled cheese? And she's like, what? The way she said what?
She's
he
like,
was like,
groceries?
he was like, forget it, bye. And
Yeah.
just hangs up on her. But it just made me laugh my ass off because it was a good prank call.
Yeah, I was almost going to be like, hey, if you guys want to ride with me, we'll ride up together. And then I thought about what his idea of the trip was going to be, and I was like, fuck that, 100%. Like he seems like the type that's also like, hey, let me play some music. You're like, I'm driving, man.
He suggested music, and I literally said, oh, yeah, I'll check it out. He kind of waited for me to put it on. And I'm like, I'm not putting that on right now.
Yeah, if
Not
you're
putting it
driving,
on.
man, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Like
We were,
you should be able to listen to what you want to listen to.
dude, I am very 2024 because I picked the music for this road trip, and it was all Kneecap and Chapel Roan. That's what I was rocking. And then I played Oasis because they're on a comeback, even though it was old songs. But I was like, this is what I'm playing. And he was trying to be like, check out some Luke Bryan. My brother got me into them. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
No,
not gonna
doing
do that. No. My car ride up, I went with my girlfriend. We went up there, and it was pretty easy. She's a great person to drive with. But we got hungry, and we were like, all right, like, well, we have to get gas. Let's just stop at some, because I was like, I don't want to fucking eat fast food. Like, let's stop at some restaurants. We stopped at some random restaurant that was like Sleeping Dead Bear or some weird Sleeping Dead Bear Brewery. And you're like, okay. And we walked in, and it was the most like bar rescue. Like, I'm surprised like John Taffer didn't walk in and be like, close it down. Like, it was like, it was insane. We sat at the bar, no service. Because they're clearly like, oh, we got some city folk up over here. And by the way, we talked about this. I don't understand why the rural northern accent is also a very southern sounding accent.
Yeah, dude.
I never understood that. It's like that in Wisconsin too. And it's like, there are parts where it is very North Woods, but like, it's just like, oh shit, you ain't from around here, huh?
I know. It's like, we're
And
not
I'm
in
like,
Alabama, dude.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I mean, like, we could not get service for the life of me, where it was just like, I mean, finally we did, and they actually had a very good fish fry, I'm not gonna lie. And you could tell because they had a printed out, almost like a presidential award looking thing that was framed, and the thing that said #1 fish fry. It didn't say from where or why or who did this. It just said #1 fish fry, and I was like, well, I gotta get that. And it was pretty fucking good. But it was just those things where you're just like, oh man, like I'm not wanted at this establishment. And they had an arm wrestling table. It was like an arm wrestling bar / arm wrestling bar too. And they had merch. Like, people go there a lot. It was crazy.
That's wild.
It was insane. But I hate that. Do you ever feel like way when you walk in? And I hate being like the city kid that's like, oh, you can tell they don't want you there.
You know, I think it's natural that whenever you go to a place that you're not from and it's small, because they know everybody.
They know everybody.
So when you walk into these bars, we were at a bar. I mean, this is a towny bar.
Yeah.
Because this town has 4,800 people there that you and I went to.
Was it that small?
I looked it up. The town
Yeah.
we went to had 4,800 people. So when you're in a towny bar like that, everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
So the four of us, not being from anywhere near there, they're
Yeah.
already looking at us like, who the hell are they?
Yeah.
And we had that
And
girl.
you and I stick out like fucking city boys.
We do.
Yeah.
We're city boys. So when we were there, that girl comes up to us, and she was, 22, 23.
Mm-hmm.
She was pretty, right?
Mhm.
But as soon as she sits down, she's like, oh, I like making new friends. What are you guys up to? I remember just being like, we're not talking to a 23-year-old. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We're all in relationships, and just get the fuck, you're a child.
I
Get
remember
away.
being like, I was in my head, I was like, I'm in the middle of a fucking story right now. Like I haven't seen Marty in a long time. You and I haven't hung out outside of comedy things or podcast things in a long time. Same thing with Danny. I was like so excited to hang out with the three of you, and I hate that when like even someone like walks in. Like, I'm the guy that's like, if you guys were all single, like hypothetically, let's say it, and then a girl walks in, I would be the one that was like, excuse me, we're all talking right now, and like can you leave? Like, I'm one of those people that I'm like, don't interrupt my boy time, brother.
And you know what I was thinking when she sat down? I remember thinking, okay, this is how she gets her kick. She's gonna sit down next to all of us dudes who are fucking way too old to be talking to her, and she's then going to be like, what'd you say? Johnny, get him. And then Johnny is going to be like, fucking city boys come up to my fucking town.
Yeah.
And
but that checks off a box
fighting.
for me, which is like a country western bar fight. Like an 80s bar fight from the old movies. You ever see Best of the Best?
No, but why is that fucking...
Because of the movie Best of the Best. Because there's a scene in Best of the Best where Chris Penn, Sean Penn's brother, is in it. And they're all part of a karate team, which is for some reason that's coached by James Earl Jones. That doesn't make any sense either. And it's a great movie. And he's like flirting with one of the girls who has a boyfriend. And then like the boyfriend is like, hey, what's going on? And then Sean Penn is just like, says something shitty. And then the guy goes to punch him. And then he moves out of the way because he's in karate. Moves out of the way. And then he punches his girlfriend in the face. And then Chris Penn goes, don't take no lip from her.
I've seen that in real life bar fights, by the way. I want to do a PSA. Can I do one of my rants real quick? This is a PSA to women from the ages of 21 to forever. If a bar fight's going down, get the fuck out of the way. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because I've witnessed too many times where I'm not part of the fight. I just look over, I'm like, oh, a fight's happening. And then this woman will be like, Mikey, stop. And then inevitably she gets knocked to the fucking ground. Yeah. And it just adds another element of danger. And then everyone gets more pissed off. Oh, you knocked this woman to the ground. All this shit's going on. And it's just, don't be a hero. Let the dudes fight it out. I understand the urge to be like, I want to protect the man I love here. And it's just an instinctual thing. But you're going to get knocked down. You're going to get hurt worse.
Right.
And you're just going to escalate things and shit's going to get bad.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Also, guys, hey, it's a compliment when somebody hits on your girlfriend. Like, maybe
I'm
she.
not even saying the fight started that way. Is that
Well,
what you're
I'm
saying?
just saying too, like to add to what you're saying, like a PSA, like, hey, it's okay. It's a compliment when somebody hits on your girlfriend. Like if the guy's still a shithead and when you're like, hey, this is my girlfriend, like obviously whatever. But then also if you're worried about losing your girlfriend to some guy hitting on her at a bar, like leave that girl.
Yeah, definitely.
What are you doing? I had a friend that was, I think he was in Minnesota, and he goes, I think he was hitting on a girl or whatever. The guy comes in, that's my girlfriend. He goes, oh, sorry, whatever. They get in a huge fight or some bullshit happens like that. And my friend or the guy pushes my friend who's like this tiny little comedian, goes like winds back, tries to punch him, misses because he's never been in a fight in his life. And he throws so hard, he spins himself and he falls. He hits the back of his head on like the footrest at the bar, knocks himself out. Wakes up, comes to later to the girl wrote in lipstick, "You knocked your own ass out," on his T-shirt.
That's fucking awesome.
Which is great.
That's pretty legendary.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
She was too good for him.
I know,
Clearly. Yeah.
I know. But I've never been in. Well, I don't want to be in a fight, but I've never been in like a bar brawl. Like Necessary Roughness, there was one great movie. Best of the Best, there's one.
Roadhouse is the whole movie.
Roadhouse
right?
is the whole movie.
The original.
Which is great. And you know what's crazy? The bar that we went to, we come to find out later, someone got their eye ripped out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that could have been you.
It could have been me.
Next time. Next time, Jonah.
Which would have been great.
So inspired by the great wedding we just went to, and congratulations to Marty DeRosa and Sarah Shockey.
Can I tell a story real quick?
Sure.
That I want to say because you had no reaction to it when I told you about it, and nobody had a reaction to it. So I went to the bar with you guys, and then here's the thing where we were sitting, where we were at. I got SOS no service on my phone that whole time.
I had service in the little town, but at the actual reception of the wedding,
nothing. So I had to use the navigation on my car, not my phone. And for some reason, my car took me a different route back to the hotel. Because I was like a 30-minute drive from where we got drinks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was staying at the premises, which we'll talk about later. But I was staying at the premises of the
30 minutes. But yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, 20, 30, whatever. But for me, it was 30 because my this is how dependent I am on technology and how much I'll trust it over anything. It took me this different route, and all of a sudden the roads started getting smaller, right? And then it was so eerie. And of course, it's Halloween, so I've been watching a lot of scary movies. And it was like started turning into a dirt road a little bit, and then it was like, and I'm sorry to like, make a stereotype here, but it was like Trump sign, Trump sign, Trump sign, Trump sign, Trump sign, Trump. But it was like Trump, like fuck you and your feelings. It said stuff like that. Trump, 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 Trump. And then all of a sudden my GPS was like, keep going straight. And I was like, this is getting scarier. And all of a sudden it cut to where it was a road where it barely fit my car. And it was all gravel, dirt. And it was just like these trees that were like just over the car. So like if a deer comes out, I'm fucked up. Like if another car comes towards me, I am. And I stopped. I had one of those moments where like I stopped before that happened. And I just looked at my GPS and it said like, keep going straight. And I was like, there's no fucking way.
Wow.
There's no way this is the right thing. And I go, I trust my car. And I just drove through that. And the whole time, I've never been more scared in my life because it felt like a wrong turn situation. And I did that thing that I stopped and was like, I don't know about this. I want to keep going forward. And then I went forward. I mean, obviously I made it, so I'm okay. But it was like, and then it was like where the weird little driveways, because you couldn't see any cars or any houses, but there was like a little driveway, and then it was like a piece of wood that would have with another piece of wood nailed to it with an address painted on it.
Oh,
like it was like,
this is real sticks.
Real sticks. And the thing is, it's funny that we met up at a bar on Saturday when I met up with you guys before the wedding. I same thing, SOS. I couldn't use my phone. So I was like, I know it's down the street. I've been past this bar where you guys were at. Put in my whatever. And same thing. It took me the weird route, which it brought me back on that street. And if you saw my car, I was all fucked up. But like to the point where like this was a little bit wider, but it was all gravel. And there was like ATVs driving next to me.
Yeah.
And like I'm driving clearly like a city car. And it was just like, I'm so stupid with my technology that I trust it.
Well, dude, in a situation like that, you have no choice.
But I was just like,
I'm gonna have a Rand McNally map in your glove compartment.
I know. Yeah, Rand McNally. I was just like, I've never been more scared in my life.
Oh, I think we reacted
normally to that story. I remember you telling that story and us being like, damn, that's crazy. And then we moved on
I
because
just feel like no
we
one
know
believed
you
how
survived.
scary it was. Yeah. Because I was with Laura. She kept going, is this the street? I go, this is like a normal street. Like, you have no idea how fucking how scary this street was. She goes, I would have been fine. I'm like, there's no way you would have been okay with the street that we went down. Like, because, like, you know,
I've had that
you're
before.
first to get raped.
Dude,
you know
when
that? Like, it's just like, was that scary? I shouldn't say that. It was just that scary, you know? And then also, you know what was scary too? At the wedding, fucking electricity gets cut.
Yeah, well, let's save that.
Okay.
Because it's part of we're at these lists we're doing here, everybody. It's this one inspired by the great wedding we went to, and yet again, congratulations to Marty DeRosa and Sarah Shockey. We're doing top 5 things you don't want to see at a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to lead us off of what you just said. So I'm going to lead us off with the top 5 things you don't want to see at a wedding, and that's the power going out. Because the wedding we were just at, that was a phenomenal wedding and a great time, even with this. So the power goes out for almost 2 hours, and it went out at a really crazy time. It was right before like the first like father-daughter dance. And I just want to say this, and this is what made it memorable in a lot of sense, because you know we've both been to a ton of weddings. You don't remember them all. This one I'll never forget, right? Because it was a great friend of mine getting married, but it also made me think, damn, did he pick the right woman?
Yeah.
Because Sarah, God bless her, she's so amazing. She handled that like such a champ. The power goes out at your wedding for 2 hours. And she was just like, well, what could I do? Hey, we'll still have fun. Let's have a great time. You know what I mean? There was no moment where you're like, oh shit, someone needs to put their arm around her and console her.
Yeah.
She's about to get really sad. No, she handled it great. She was just like, well, this happens. And I said to Marty, I go, you know what? That just shows you that you guys are going to be so happy together and you guys got a great future in store for you, because it shows that you guys could persevere, handle anything that comes your way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because people put a lot of thought, they put a lot of care into every detail of their wedding. It's a big day for them.
Yeah.
Especially, this isn't sexist, but women more so than us dudes, because they've been told their whole lives, your wedding day, your wedding day.
Right.
And she was just like, yeah, power went out. We're in darkness. People are using their cell phone flashlights right now.
Yeah.
But
The
whatever,
internet was
we're
out.
going to have fun.
Yeah.
Can't change it now, can I? Gonna
No.
have a great time. The way she fucking roll with it, it's like, love her, love this couple.
Yeah. And like also like shout out to the guy that had the wherewithal to charge a speaker.
Yeah.
Like, because like Sarah was like, oh, he charged it throughout the day just in case.
Yeah, he
And
charged
I
the
was-
Bluetooth speakers.
Yeah,
Genius.
which was insane. And I like the staff that was just like, oh yeah, no, it's not an internal problem. Like someone probably ran into a power line
Yeah.
and messes out. And I'm like, oh, so it's not a problem because someone just died.
Well, we don't
Like you
die.
don't run into a power line and then you're just A-okay. Like they made it seem like, because we were like, oh, does this happen a lot here? Because it's just like, you know, the power system, whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, this never happened. So someone clearly like ran into a power line. And I was just like, you're just so nonchalant about just somebody getting electrocuted to death. That was adorable.
They got fucking, ribs to serve. So
You know, it's
can't blame them. Oh, before you get
bad
going,
ribs.
we're going to do a new thing real quick, everyone. We're going to say our list. Austin's very proud that I remember this. We're going to say our list real rapid fire, and then we're going to get in and explain the list.
Yeah.
So top 5 things you do not want to see at a wedding. Number 5, I have the power going out. Experienced this at a wedding recently. Not fun, but it made the bride look even cooler because she was so chill about it. Number 4, you do not want boring church ceremonies. It's like, okay, look, I'm happy you're religious, but all of us, this is just terrible. You're starting off your big day by boring the hell out of all your closest friends and family. Don't do it. Number 3, inappropriate music. Meaning, like, I'm not saying you don't want it eventually, but if your DJ's playing wet ass pussy while grandma's still there, that's a no-go. Number 2, DJs, on the subject of the DJs who think they're funny, DJs who want to be comedians. That's not your game, okay? Play the fucking music someone else wrote and created and just be on with it. And the number 1 thing you do not want to see at a wedding or have at a wedding, diarrhea. You don't want that.
Yeah.
That'll ruin everyone's evening.
Yeah.
You got the runs. You're
Can't have
feeling
that.
too loose. You just can't have that.
Can't have that. No.
Mm-mm. What's yours?
We will talk about that because I got.
Oh, we're gonna get into all this shit.
Well, I don't.
Literally.
Mine are in no particular order, but I'm just saying my top 5 of worst things.
Well, hold on, let's start. Let's be professional here. Top 5 things you do not want to see at a wedding.
Top 5 things you don't want to see at a wedding. No particular order. For Jonah Jurkens, the other co-host of Let's Get Dumb podcast. Here it is. Top 5 things you don't see at a wedding. 5. See how I read it? Fuck, I just fucked that one up. Okay, Joe. Top 5 things you want to see at a wedding.
You don't want to see at a wedding.
That's what I just said. Top 5 things. Hey, Joe. Top 5 things you don't want to see at a wedding in no particular order for me. Okay. 5 weird first dances with the mom and with the dad. We'll get into it later, but also has a very has a very I'm gonna fuck my mom or dad feel to it. Not a fan of that one. I would say this cliche wedding party speeches. I don't care about length. Just stop doing the cliches. I get it. The groom fucked a lot of girls. Cool. Also get it. This is a funny story. Newsflash. Professional comedian over here. Not funny. 3, open seating. What is this? What is this? Musical chairs for seating?
What is this? A Southwest flight?
Right. I have to elbow grandma because I want to sit closer. Not doing that. 2, I think I fucked up this order. Big centerpieces. Why do you have the big centerpiece? I can't talk to my friend Joe across the. Where are you at? Where you at, Joe? Joe, I can't see you. Where are you going? Joe, I can't do that. Also, who's talking right now? I can't tell. Clinking of the glasses.
We're gonna dive into that
Yeah.
one time. The whole ding 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 ding.
It feels rapish. I want to watch 2 people make out right now. I get it. Watch porn, brother.
All right, so let's dive into the list now. We can go one by one. We
I
don't
got
have to-
my number one. Number one. Huh?
That was your number one.
Yeah, that was.
No, my number was no plus one. Did I say no
you
plus
did
one?
6.
You do with
Definitely
sex.
did
And
6.
now that's yours. That's the problem when you do no particular order. You don't keep track.
No, this is 5. Yeah.
Okay, the fact that Austin and I both and instantly when you said you have one more looked at each other like, no, you don't,
don't.
tells us that we're right and you're wrong. All right, it's just that's
one.
fine.
Yeah, you know what I did? I did
That's
6
totally
by accident.
cool, man.
Sorry about that.
So because you have no particular order, but I do, we don't talk about the power going on because I already did that for number 5. I want you to start with your first one that you wanted on your list, or we could lead off with the clinking of the glass.
Let's do clinking of the glass.
Because here's my thing.
You've
agree
been
with
married, so you've been through a lot of this.
Yeah, so at my wedding, I remember telling people ahead of time,
are
do not, yeah, I am married. I remember telling people ahead of time, do not clink the glass at my wedding. I hate that whole ding, 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 and people have to kiss because it's so annoying. I remember being at so many weddings prior to my own where I'm seeing couples, they're having a good time, they're talking to people, and then there's always some fucking third cousin / like long lost aunt that no one sees. It's like ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, 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 and then everyone else feels like, oh, I have to go along with it. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, all right, we're gonna. It's like if I bust the glass off the ground, do they get to finger each other? Like,
Yeah.
what is it? Where's the limit? You know what I mean? It's just a dumb old tradition. It's also reminds me of when someone drops a plate and everyone goes, "Oopa!" It's like, no,
I
we're
hate
not
that.
in Greece.
Yeah.
Someone broke a plate and they feel bad about
Yeah.
it. You shouting does not make them feel better. You personality-less fucks.
It also feels very like incesty. It feels a little like grandma can't wait to watch grandson make out with his new bride. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
There's a lot of
we
horny
still have
grandmothers
not-
out there.
Side note, we have not addressed why I'm sitting on this side. It's because my neck is fucking killing me from that long drive.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now that's over with. Yes, the clinking of the glass is just...
But you know what's funny is I hate the alternatives. I've been to a lot of weddings that have done alternatives. I'm from Wisconsin. My family all from Wisconsin, and a lot of my mom's side, everybody went to UW-Madison except for basically me. And if they wanted to make, so on that side of the family, if they wanted to make the kids kiss, you have to sing a Wisconsin song. So you have to stand up and you have to, this is true. You have to sit up and you have to be like, on Wisconsin, something, whatever. So for them to kiss.
And then the bride and groom kiss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the whole wedding would sing it together.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I've been to one
Especially when one of the songs is
Wisconsin
called
wedding.
Victory, and that seems a little, what were you saying?
I've been to one Wisconsin wedding, and thank God they did not do that. That is very bizarre.
I had another
Why do people drink so much? Stupid traditions just make
stupid
you go,
traditions. Agreed.
We're so lame. We got to get drunk all the time now.
Yeah. I had another.
Kidding, Wisconsin.
Another friend that this one I liked a little bit more because they were like, "Don't fucking make us kiss." They're like, "Oh, if you want to make us kiss," they had trivia questions on each table about them or about the groom or bride, and you had to go up to the microphone, grab the microphone, and answer the question like right. If you got it right, they kiss. If you got it wrong, people like basically booed you.
I like the trivia, but I don't
Yeah.
like the idea of them having to kiss for it. I think I've been to a wedding where they did trivia, and I remember it being kind of fun.
Yeah,
Because you got to know a little bit something about them.
Yeah.
Where it's like, true or false, did Austin shit his pants when he was 12 years old? And you're like, I bet that's true.
Double true.
And then it's like, not only was it true, but here's where it happened. So it's like, oh, that's a fun little one.
Here's a
And then
picture
it's
of
like,
him crying.
yeah. Did Stephanie, break her leg
Yeah.
during soccer practice? And here's how, like you get a little inside information about what their couple did. So that's not bad. So my number 4 was boring church services or ceremonies or anything like that.
Too long.
Too long. They get way too long. So I'm at the point now, whenever I get invited to a wedding and I see there's no church service, I'm like, yes. Yes, because it's like, if you're going to have that, why do we have to be there for that?
Right.
Why just like, look, hey, you got a relationship with God. You and fucking Jesus are tight. Good on you. I'm not judgy, or whatever your religion is, right? But why do I have to be invited to that?
Right.
Why do I have to witness that?
And also, just cut it out, or cut some, like the wedding we just went to.
That was tight.
It was under 15 minutes.
It was some religious stuff, but it was
Yes,
tight.
that's my point. There were still religious things in there, so they still got the families. It still honored what the family wished.
Yes.
but it was still short. Like one of the best weddings I ever went to. I was sitting there next to the bride before the wedding, and the planner went up and was like, "All right, we got this, and that." And then she goes, "Cut this out, cuts that out. We're making this as short as possible because I'm gonna get fucked up tonight."
Nice.
And I was like, "Hell yeah, dude! Yeah,
Yeah, I'm all about it. I try to skip the church ceremony if I can, but it's hard when you're like a close family, like I expect you to be there.
yeah." I still want to be the wedding. I still want to be there for the wedding.
I'm at the point where I believe that every modern couple in their 20s and 30s that are getting married these days, if they do have a church ceremony, that is to appease their parents.
Family for sure.
That's 100% what that is.
When the
Because if I were to do it all over again, I would not have had a church ceremony. I had a church
Yeah.
ceremony.
You did.
And the rehearsal dinner made me think people are going to hate my wedding.
Really?
Because this dude was just so talky, this priest.
Yeah.
And I was like, and the rehearsal was painful. I remember being like, this is going to be a 90-minute ceremony.
Oof.
It's the end of July. People are going to be passing out. This is awful.
How long was it?
Luckily, he was tight.
Okay.
He showed up game day ready, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he does. He bores everyone during the rehearsal, so that way game day
seems
feels
better.
quick, right? I
It's
mean,
like Chris rocks it.
like football coaches will be like, we're going to go at this level speed. That way the game day speed is easy for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think he did. But yeah, it's just like, if I were to do it all again, I wouldn't have done a church wedding.
Yeah.
I just...
Would you?
Because it's about
would
the
you
party.
now that you're this age, would you do destination or would you still do?
No, I would not. I would not do destination.
Do you think that's shitty to do to people?
I don't want to say that because we just went
Just came
very
from a
far
destination
away,
wedding.
and I don't want us
Yeah.
to think we're insulting.
But
friends.
I do like when there's a destination wedding and they admit to it up front and they go, "Hey, thank you for coming. We know that we asked a lot of you."
No, I like that too. But here's my thoughts on destination weddings. I'm not opposed to them. I've been to some good ones. I've been to some where I'm like, why?
Yeah.
You need to have somewhat of a reason for me. So like,
Feels like a "Do you believe in our love? Prove it" type of a feel.
yes and no, I suppose. But like, so here's my thoughts on destination weddings. The one we went to recently, it was at her parents' summer home that she
Made
had some
sense.
great memories there.
Yes,
And
that makes
the
sense.
view and the backdrop was stunning.
Mhm.
So hell yeah. But I've been to a few other ones where I'm like, why did you guys decide to get married? And they're like, we liked it once. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, fuck you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I went to one in Palm Springs, which was great because the bride and the groom they grew up in different places. So it's like, who do they choose?
Right.
Whose hometown do we choose to get married in? So we picked a spot that 80% of their friends at the time, it was just a short little drive. Now, I had to fly in for it, but I ended up loving it. It was a whole weekend resort. It was
Yeah.
going to Palm Springs, California in December as a Chicagoan.
Yeah.
So it was great. But for the most part, I'm at the stage now when I get a wedding invitation and I see it's in Chicago where I live, I'm like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I see it somewhere else, I'm a little bit like, fuck. But if it's family, it's a different experience altogether.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
But what's your instinct when you see destination wedding?
I don't mind it, but I'm always like, and you want a gift too? Like, there's, are you serious? Like, this is costing me, because those aren't cheap either.
No.
And I know people shit on like, they don't get a wedding if you can't afford it. Like, why? And it's just kind of like, yeah, I mean, like, you're going to lose money. And I don't know how you felt about this, but like, in my mind, it's like, yeah, you're going to lose money in a wedding. Of course, you're going to a little bit, but like, it is nice that like, weddings are insanely expensive. And, I do believe in the, at least give enough money what you think the plate for each person is.
That's industry standard.
Industry
Yeah,
standard.
it's good.
Yeah.
That's good
So
thought,
I think that's good. But then you add on a $600 flight and another $600 of hotel fees and sand in my shoe. Like, No thanks.
So thank you for bringing that up. Here's how I'll summarize it. The last thing I'll say about destination weddings. If you're picking a destination wedding for no other reason than you hate where you live,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Fuck you.
Because I've heard of couples where it's like, we live here. Oh, cool. So where in that area is your wedding going to be? Oh, no, we're going to get married 8 hours from here or a flight away. And you expect everyone to show up for that? It's
Right.
like, that's a little
Then
rude.
don't get mad if not everybody.
It's a little rude.
Right.
You have to have a connection to that destination.
Yes.
And the wedding we went to had a connection. So
Right.
that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Or like, this is when we realized we fell in love, or like, whatever, something, right? This is where my grandmother's ashes was spread, right? In
I want to stand
Reno,
in
Nevada. My turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go weird first dances.
Weird first dance is good. That's your number 4, right, Austin? That's a number 4 for Jonah.
I'm going to say this is that I've noticed, and I don't think this was one. So this wedding we were at. So none of these have to do with the wedding that we're at.
None of them.
And I sometimes when a mom and a son dance, it seems a little too flirty. And sometimes when a father and daughter dance, it's like, I don't know if you want to put your hand there. Like, it's just kind of awkward and weird. And then if it's like they're like looking in each other's eyes singing the song, it just feels like, what's going on with this family? It's a little too close of a family. There's been a couple times where I've been like, and usually when I'm the guest, so I get to have this judgmental statement where I'm just like, I think those two are fucking.
Ugh.
Never felt that way?
No, thankfully, I've been at weddings where I don't think I've seen anything like that.
Really?
I've seen uncomfortable family stuff at weddings.
Like, just do the chicken dance. Don't slow dance with your dad. That's weird.
Well, if you slow dance, if a father-daughter slow dance, because that's a big thing, and the mother-son dance and the father-daughter dance, the dad and daughter have to be the old school, where they hold the hands up like this.
Yeah.
Hand around the back. Like that style of
Yeah.
dancing. Like
I've
that.
seen it not that way.
You've seen like
Yeah.
fucking dad having hands on that girl's hips.
Yeah.
Girl on the shoulder like they're 8th graders.
Yeah, I have. I've seen it, and like the daughter's singing into the dad's eyes. It's crazy. I realize with my family, since both my parents are dead, I'm gonna probably have to just like dance to like a imaginary person like this. Or I was thinking like, would it be funny if I got like a skeleton and put a dress on it and dance with that? Do you think people would be mad if I did that? Do you think people would be like, what the fuck?
I think you'd get
You think I'd be on a list being like, okay, top 5 things we don't see. We don't want to see the son dance with their dead mom.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I think if you dance with a skeleton that's supposed to just be standing in for your mother at your own wedding, I think people would laugh initially and then later be like, I hope he's
Yeah, I hope
seeing
he's
somebody.
okay. Yeah.
I hope he
I
has
don't think that
someone
wed-
to talk to about
And you
that.
just all of a sudden all the cards that are in the gift area just kind of slowly disappear throughout the whole
People are
night.
taking their gift back.
Yeah. They're just like, all right, well,
Who
this
would you? Well, let me ask you this: with both your mother and father being deceased,
Mm-hmm.
who would you dance with or you just would skip that if you got married?
That's a good question. I was thinking about that because unfortunately, our friend Marty was put in that same position, and he danced with the
mother of the bride.
the mother of the bride, which I was like, oh, okay, that's really cute. I know they have a connection, so that was
Super sweet.
sweet. I think if I had with the person that I decided to get married to, if I had that connection with the mom, I think I would do that.
Dance with the mom, yeah.
Yeah, I think
There's
so.
not an aunt you would go to.
No, it would be right now. It would 100% be my grandmother Betty, who's just the sweetest, prettiest. I mean, if I did with my grandmother Betty, people would be like, "Those two are fucking for sure." Like she's gorgeous and smoke show. Dude, Betty Bighead. That's not that is a nickname for obvious reasons. And her last name's Groskopf, but whatever. But yeah, I would if she was still alive. I'd dance with my grandmother Betty. She raised me.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Very sweet.
but it'd be weird. Like I'm not gonna dance with my cousin.
No, yeah.
She's my age. That's weird.
It's it's just a question. I'm not really sure. Yeah. It's one of those
What
weird
was the
things.
song that you danced to with your mom?
Oh God. What the fuck did we dance to?
Did you dance with your mom or your stepmom? Did you dance with your stepmom?
I didn't. That's one of my big regrets for my wedding.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to, and I brought it up, but then it just didn't happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I danced with her at my the next wedding I could.
Okay.
So to make up for that, it wasn't like intentional. It was just
Yeah.
I thought we'd do one for both, and that was just the thing. And then she was
Yeah.
like, "Don't worry about it," and it just didn't happen. But yeah, so it was a bummer. But anyway, what the hell song did we dance to? I think it was like some Garth Brooks song. I can't honestly cannot
Slow
remember.
Wind with Me? Or Kelly?
I didn't even know what the reference you were making was there.
It's like a sexy song.
No, yeah. Love how comfortable you just made that for everybody involved. Yeah, I don't remember.
I felt fine about it. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Everybody involved is a tough one. We got a producer laughing over here.
Speaking of songs being played at weddings, here's the thing that I can't stand, and it's on my list. It's when there's inappropriate music being played while there's still like the old people around. Because
Yeah.
everyone knows this at a wedding, especially weddings with DJs, mostly weddings with DJs, that when the old people are still there and they're going to be there for the first hour of dancing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, say weddings from say the dinners from 6 to 7, speeches 7 to 30, little cake thing. They'll be there till 9.
Yeah.
Dancing might start at like about 7:30, 8 o'clock. That's once the old people are gone, that's when you start to play the modern shit that the couple actually listens to currently. In the beginning, you're playing old shit that both young people and old people could dance to. You're playing Run Around Sue. Well, Run Around Sue's not a really good one because it's like a horror. But like you're playing like the finger snapped in, like a Beatles Twist and Shout. You're playing like, fucking the Chicken Dance or some stupid ass song like that. You're playing like,
Electric Slide or whatever.
Electric Slide, right? You're playing, Sweet
Shout.
Caroline. Yeah, Shout. You're playing that stuff, right? Then when the old people start to slowly fade away,
Yeah.
that's when you get to like all right, here we go. We're
To the
bringing
window
sexy
to the
back.
wall. Yeah.
We're bringing, window to the wall, to the sweat drips down my balls, right? You're playing like that fun
Skeet,
stuff.
skeet, skeet.
Skeet, 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 motherfucker, right? You're playing that.
Mm-hmm.
You play that early, you're bad at your job. And I
Yeah.
swear, dude, every now and then you'll see a DJ where it's like, fuck it, let's play Wet Ass Pussy 3 songs in.
Yeah. I will say that I was at a wedding last weekend, or 2 weekends ago now, that they kind of pushed the limit a little bit on that. And I was a little like, uh-oh. And like a lot of the old people are dancing. I think it's
Really?
changing. I think it's
Because they're
changing
trying
a
to be
little
cool
bit.
old people.
Yeah, but also I think it's just like, I think we're thinking back at our age group when we were in when we were in our 20s. It's like 15 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's like
But
now.
if you're 35 to 45, you're still knowing what new music is. And you're
you know what a good beat is. Oh, you know what you're saying, but like.
no, I'm
but-
saying it's the 35 to 45-year-old wedding range.
Yes.
So that means their grandma is like fucking 85.
Yeah.
So you can't be playing fucking Meg Thee Stallion or Cardi B when there's an 85-year-old there.
Yeah, but she was around when Run DMC was around. You know what I mean? She's young.
Yeah, but Run DMC didn't have like I want your
60?
dick to hit that wiggly ball at the back of my throat.
Okay, well, she was
Or the
around when
hangy ball thing at the back of your throat. Isn't that a line in that song, Austin? Yeah.
She was around when the 69 boys were around.
You're right. They should play Wet Ass Pussy, John.
no,
I'm sorry.
I think
What
no.
was I thinking?
Okay, my argument with you is that yes, I think you are 100% right. Of course, don't play Wet Ass Pussy, but there are some like hip hop songs that are kind of like play like where it's kind of like in the middle, like almost gray area, where I was a little surprised. I was saying that like there was a little bit of a shift because normally I'd be like, oh, this is really like this isn't the song you want to play, but I was noticing
Well, what
there's a lot
song
of
was it?
old. I couldn't tell you, but it was like Sexy Back, like the song
Yeah,
that
like
you used.
that's like 20 years old now, that song probably,
Yeah.
or 15 years old now.
Yeah.
That one, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because that was probably the equivalent to Too Sexy for My Shirt. Like
Yeah.
when that one was first played, I'm sure they were like, oh, great. And
Yeah.
Gladys is going to think, why are they talking about sex in this, And then they're old enough where they're like, play it. We don't care, right?
Yeah.
That's how they dance. Like,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
snaps.
Yeah,
Totally no rhythm to them at all. Like,
yeah.
yeah, I just, but I've seen it at a wedding or two, and I can't give you an exact example, but where it's just like, they're gonna go to bed soon. Let them let's wait a little bit on this.
I know. Yeah, just wait a little bit. I agree with you. And, what's your thoughts on when the DJs or when the wedding party, the bride and groom like play a lot of songs that are specific to them? The wedding I was at that I was just mentioning, very Polish side family. On the bride side, and so they were playing a lot of like Polish techno. Which there are songs where I'm like, what the fuck is this song? And then half of the audience is like singing along and dancing. And I'm like, well, half of them are enjoying it. But the other half of us were just like, what is this shit?
You know what? It's their day. Let them play whatever the fuck they want.
Okay.
No,
They
'cause
pay for it.
They pay for it. Yeah. I still have this fantasy that I've never fulfilled where I have a party and I pick every fucking song that's played. It's my music, 100% my music. And if you
Yeah.
don't like it, peace.
Fuck out.
Get the fuck out. It's
Yeah.
my party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hate it when someone hijacks someone else's music at a party.
Mhm.
Like, don't do that. It's their party.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear it? Go somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Go
yeah.
somewhere else.
If they want to do it at their wedding, they want to play their songs that are specific to them, You got a green light from me. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I think you play whatever you want, and I think you should design the wedding however you want. But the one thing is too, like aesthetically, like what doesn't help is when you have a huge fucking centerpiece on your. See that?
Nice fucking transition to your next one.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at these things when I pay attention, and like that's the thing I've noticed too. When you go to, and I get it, the centerpiece. That's a huge decision. I don't know if it was on your wedding, but it's like if it's so fucking big, it's like you put me at a table, right? That I think you did on purpose, right? Actually, I also hate when they're all the nightmares and I'm at the table. I'm like, fuck, I'm the nightmare friend. But like when there's like a huge vase in front of me and I have to do like this move, like, hey, what's going on? What is that? Did you get meat or you get fish over there? Like I have to do that shit. Or I'm like, who's talking right now? And I have to, oh, they're dancing. Oh my God, that father looks like he wants to fuck the daughter. That's weird. And then like, like where they look like this, like that, where I'm like, what the fuck? It's
too
just
much.
like, it's too much.
I agree.
Pick something small.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's what are we doing with this? Like, why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's stupid.
Right.
You know what I like?
Do you get to keep that?
This is, sometimes they give the centerpieces away actually. Because I've seen people scramble to be like, I want that. What I did like with the name tags they did at this wedding we went to, this was totally Sarah's idea. It's Marty and Sarah's wedding. It would say your name on the front, and on the back, she wrote down like 4 like cool things about you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like Joe Kilgallon. On the back, she wrote like ideal person to run into at the Walnut Room down during Christmas season.
Mm-hmm.
Walnut Room's a famous room in downtown Chicago where it's like known for like Christmas stuff. And I ran into her and Marty there one time. And then it's like TikTok sexfluencer. You know, so they were like loving watching me do really well on TikTok. Third thing was like great at pool basketball.
Yeah,
they have a pool and I was fucking shooting hoops and putting on a goddamn show.
Of course you were.
And I can't remember what the fourth thing was, but I like that they made like the card specific. Like she took the time for everyone's place card to write some really cool stuff on the back of.
Yes, and it was really, one, it was really sweet and it was really nice, and it was really like, oh, you took the time. 2, it was kind of like, well, these are just the last things you remember talking to me about. But then you're like, well, you just also made 90 of them, so you're gonna kind of run out of things.
Oh, definitely.
But what was really cool, it was a conversation starter, because even though we were at a table with all our friends, I still was like, hey, what's say on yours? Like I was really like, what's yours say?
I wanted to read all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, because like Colt was with us, who's been on the podcast
Colt
before, and I
Cabana.
was like, I want to say about his, like, like Laura, I was like, what'd you say about yours? Like it was one of those like little ideas where you're like, fuck, that's a really good idea.
Great one.
Yeah.
Loved it. All right, sliding into my next one. This is my number 2, and this is when the DJ tries to be a comedian.
Yeah.
And not just at comedy weddings I've been to, but at some weddings, the DJ like just try. And I get it, because often the DJ is kind of like the host. He's basically the MC, the master of ceremonies for the event, in the sense that he will introduce. All right, coming up now, the best man. You all know him as Jake's brother and blah blah blah. So give it up for the best man, everyone. And then the best man does his speech, and then he tries to add to it. It's like, don't do that. I've literally been at some weddings where these DJs think this is my time to showcase my personality and throw in some funny stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, my man, you want to be funny? You're not.
Yeah.
You think you're funny? Go try to be a Southwest flight attendant, because you guys are all cut from the same damn cloth. All right, do your job. Serve me peanuts. Play fucking some goddamn 80s Madonna for me to dance to, and that's it.
Yeah.
Don't try to this extra. You're not a comedian.
Yeah.
Don't be extracurricular.
Right.
Do the job you got paid for. You got paid to play other people's music.
Right.
And you get paid to assist me on the flight. I don't need jokes from either of you.
Right.
All right.
Is this in the flight?
I'm talking about Southwest flight attendants.
For real.
Southwest.
I had a Southwest guy that every time he was like, put your seatbelts on or else you're going to get sucked out. For real.
Southwest.
Everything hit like a little for real. And I was like, and all the little like 50-year-old women are loving it. And I'm like, this guy tears up the grays and blues afterwards for sure.
Yeah, he gets dick deep in those ladies.
Oh God, he loves it for real.
So dude, for those of you guys who don't know, if you've ever flown Southwest, their flight attendants are notorious for trying to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
And on occasion, I've laughed at a thing or two, but for the most part, it's like, shut up.
Right.
Right? We don't want, I don't understand these people who think like you want to be neighborly in all situations. Most people, I'd guess 80% of people when they travel want to be left the fuck alone.
Right.
I don't want to be talking to the person next to me.
I don't either.
I don't want my flight attendant to be all funny on there. I don't want the pilot to get on there and tell me about his life.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to say, we're landing soon, do this. Or by the way, if you want to get up and walk around, go for it. Bathrooms are available. They're going to bring you some drinks. Give me that information. I don't need you to be cute.
Yeah.
We don't need this. Same with Uber drivers. Shut the fuck up. Take me from here to there. I'm not trying to make friends with you.
Yeah. For real.
For real.
For real. Dude, everything for real. Like it was insane. It's
too
I had a
much.
pilot once that said he was like, "Oh, it's going to be a bumpy flight. Just be happy I'm not flying cuz this other guy's a lot better than I am." And I was like, "Jesus Christ." And the guy goes, "For real." This dude, I swear to God, if the thing about that, if I ever take another Southwest flight and the guy's like, "For real," I'm jumping out of the fucking plane. I'm gonna be DB Cooper all over again. It's all over again. Whoops, I gave that way. Do you know what DB Cooper is? Yeah,
Still never was found, right?
never was found.
Never. People don't know.
Never was
It
found.
was Loki.
Do you know my mom's maiden name?
Cooper.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. You
Jill,
know first?
Jill Cooper.
No,
Your
it's
mom?
Deborah Brin.
Why are you being weird?
Oh, it's Jill. It's Jill Jurkens, my mom. Yeah.
Yeah, but her
DB
maiden-
Cooper, Deborah Brin.
I didn't know that. I don't know who Deborah Brin was.
That was my mom.
Oh,
Okay.
I see. You're trying to say Deborah Brin Cooper.
I was for real.
Sorry, I got thrown off. It's getting a little late right now.
It is
too.
for real.
For real.
For real. Okay, so
Hog Squad.
Hog Squad. So adding to what you're gonna say, and yes, by the way, I have a friend who's a wedding DJ, and another thing too, let them do their job. They're not there to take requests. Unless you're the bride or groom, let them do what they're fucking paid to do. Because guess what? The bride's gonna come up and be like, "What the fuck? I didn't have this on the list." Because they curate a list. I'm sure you guys had to do
I
that.
had a must play list. What you typically have when you book a wedding DJ, he'll ask you what's a must play list, like you got to hear this song, and what's a do not play list.
Yeah.
And every now and then, as a wedding guest, I've seen people go like, "Hey, look, the groom loves this song. You got to play it." But that's tough though, because what if they're fucking with you?
Right.
So as a wedding DJ, I feel like you have to be like, unless
It's
the
hard.
groom says it, I'm not playing it. You just have to have that strict no request policy.
Yeah, she was DJing once, and this guy comes up to her, and he's like, I said something. She's like, "Wait, what? What did you say?" And he was like, "Cool tits." And she's like, "What?" And then he was like, "You have cool tits," and then just like walked away.
Really?
Not like nice tits, not like whatever, cool tits.
Man, imagine if you're a woman and someone says to
Imagine
you,
that-
you have cool tits. Like, does that? I think you'd be so thrown off you couldn't get mad instantly.
You can't get mad at that. Cool tits,
Because you'd be like, you mean like nice, like they're
Yeah.
like hot tits?
or is that you saying like, "Yeah, I agree," like, "Oh, cool tits."
When people talk about tits, they'll be like, "Hey, she's got some nice tits," or "Great." You either hear nice tits or great tits. You know what you never hear?
Beautiful
Hey,
tits.
No, it was rhetorical.
Sorry,
You never hear cool tits or hot tits. Like imagine you,
hot tits. Yeah,
you might be like, "Dude, that girl's hot," but you never
Yeah.
heard someone say, "Dude, she got some hot tits."
yeah, or pretty tits.
Pretty tits either.
Yeah, but you know what that wedding was? That was pretty much the tits.
That wedding was the tits.
Yeah.
Speaking of pretty, I heard a girl describe a guy's dick as pretty once. She's
Oh, I could see that.
She's like, "Oh, he had a pretty dick." I think there was an episode.
I
of
know what
Elite.
dick he's talking about. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see like a pretty dick.
I think dicks are all.
Would you like to have someone's like, "You
Yeah.
got a pretty dick"?
I would like any compliment towards my penis.
Any? Like it's really funny?
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah?
a good one.
Your,
Like,
your dick has a great sense of humor.
your penis has wonderful comedic timing, and I'm like,
Well, timing's good. You got good timing. You got good dick timing. That's good.
Sure,
By the way, we went an hour before we started talking about dicks.
that's very impressive.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. That's
I'm
our
proud
longest
of us.
ever.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Season 3, episode 2.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our number ones.
What if you're like, hey, you have a really charismatic dick. Your dick's got some real riz to it.
My
You got a rizzy dick?
I got a rizzy dick that produces some jizzy.
I got a rizzy
My
jizzy
rizzy
dick.
gets jizzy.
So I'm gonna add to
That was
your
the lamest I've ever fucking sound. I'm sorry, Austin.
That's okay. I'm gonna add. Joe, you and I have drove 14 hours in the last 24 hours, basically. I'm gonna add to your thing and say, also, you know who's not. Also, hey, your speeches. Let's get a little originality in here. We've all been to weddings before. The cliches in the speeches, especially the best man and maid of honor, is insane. I don't want to hear about how much the groom fucked. Nobody. You know who really wants to hear that? Her father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
how
just
much he was a
her.
coxman. And then they always got to be like, he knows. This guy knows.
Yeah.
Right? Always that. It's like, why do you think that that's a good idea? It never works.
It's always like the best man's about to start the best man speech. He's like, you know, Mikey and I, we had some times.
Yeah, we had some times.
And when he said he's getting married, I go, you know what? Sarah is the perfect girl. And then I looked at Sarah and I said, are you fucking sure you want to marry this piece of shit?
Yeah.
Am I right?
It's always this piece of shit. Yeah.
How many STDs do you get from me? I'm kidding,
Yeah.
everybody. It's just
And they-
really hacky.
And then they always go, you know, when they first met, I just knew they were made for each other. It's like, yeah, I know. I swear to God, like, if you're convincing me that they're made for each other, I'm already like $1,000 into this goddamn wedding, and I have to be convinced that they're gonna make it. That's when you start taking the fucking check out again. That's when you call you just void that out. Could you
Pull back
imagine
the
instead
gift?
of like you find an open? Could you imagine at your wedding you found an open envelope and then you're like, oh my god, someone take the wedding and someone just wrote void on the check, but they still put it in. Like you could have got that.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
Did you get a check where you're just like, I think it costed more for you to write this check than it is for how much you gave to me in this check?
It's like a check for $1. What do you mean?
Yeah, like did you get like a why even write it? Don't even give me anything.
No.
I would have forgot.
No, I got.
Did you take tips on? I will say that. So Laura, girlfriend, put it in my head. I was getting ready for a wedding to go to. She put in my head that like I was like, oh shit, I forgot that like we gotta stop at Walgreens. I gotta write a check, whatever. She goes, you have a year to give it to him, and I was like, you do?
Yeah.
You do? And I was like, you do? And she goes, yeah, don't worry about it. And I go, okay. 3 years later, still haven't given the check yet.
I have one person that I was reminded of it this weekend, and I feel bad because every time I go to a wedding, I'm reminded, oh fuck, I still owe so and so.
Really?
And I'm at the point now where people are like, you have a year, and it's been 2.5.
Yeah, I know.
But to be fair to me, I did have some traumatic shit happen in between
did.
then and then. But I thought to myself, because someone's like, it's been over a year. So let's ask this to our viewers. You know, for wedding gifts, you have up to a year after the wedding to give a gift.
Mm-hmm.
But say you just blank and some shit happens, and you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's been 2 years.
Life goes by pretty fast.
Yeah. Do you just think, well, I guess I just don't give them a gift? Or do you give them a gift 2 years later? I think
so too. I think
give them the gift.
Then it means more. Oh, you didn't forget about me.
Yeah, you didn't forget about him. And also, who the fuck would be mad? Who would be like, I'm sorry, you have 1 year. It's been 2.5. I don't want this gift. Then it's like, okay, guess what? I don't want you in my fucking life. then.
My problem
All right?
is they just had a kid. So now it's like, oh, this is a baby present. You know what I mean?
As someone with kids, if you show up and give me a check and something for my kid, I'm not mad at you.
Right.
I'm not mad at you at all. I'm thinking, awesome. Thank you.
As a man that got married,
Mhm.
did you keep a tab on people that didn't give you a gift?
Well, you know what you do? You don't really keep a tab, but when you get the gifts, you write their names down because you have to give thank you notes.
Oh,
And it's rude not to give you a thank you note.
true.
So you write it all down for the purpose of the thank you note.
Okay.
So then at the end, you might notice like, wait, did we, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I definitely owe a wedding gift to a family member.
Yeah, I know.
feel
I still
really
do
bad about
because
it.
I have this idea made that I want to do for them, and then I'm just like,
The wedding we just went to, I did not give a gift to because I have an idea, and it was a destination wedding. And with destination weddings, it's like, oh, now I got to load up more shit.
Okay.
Checks obviously don't they throw that in a
Yeah.
bag, but I have a certain thing I want to purchase. Like
Okay.
that's an actual like wrapped in a box gift.
Yeah.
So I have not given that yet.
Oh, I made sure because I was like, I'm not gonna let that happen again. Like,
Because
I'm
one
giving
time
a
you
fucking
forgot
check.
once.
Because the one time I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, it happens. It's, I wouldn't beat yourself up over
Well,
it.
yeah, it's like, don't tell me a year. A year is such a long time, and then a year goes by, and you're like, oh yeah, the fucking check. I always forget about that. Yeah, so that's it. So it's just like the cliches. Also, with the maid of honors, it's just like, oh my god, the funny college story. It's not funny. I'm sorry. Like, honey, like it's just not. Like, did you work on that at all? Like, oh god, we were so drunk. I know it was college. I get it.
Although the best maid of honor speech I ever saw, actually, I'll give you credit that it's a tie. The best maid of honor speech I ever saw was my younger sister as the maid of honor at my older sister's wedding. She nailed it. Phenomenal. But the funniest and my sister's was good too, but the funniest maid of honor speech I ever saw was my cousin Brian's wedding. Annette, his awesome wife, her best friend or one of her best friends from college gives this speech, and she is hammered drunk.
Oh, yeah.
Hammered. I remember as soon as she took the microphone, everyone's looking at her like, oh, fuck, she's drunk. I just remember looking over at my dad and my dad crying and laughter, tears going down his face. He was laughing so hard. She was so hammered. She couldn't put together a sentence, and the sentences she could put together were funny
Yeah.
because she just wasn't making sense.
Okay.
And it was just like, you've never seen someone drunk or trying to talk to the point where people were like, we should get the microphone in front of her. And she's just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
but it wasn't even sad. Like at some weddings, when someone's that drunk, you're like, this is embarrassing.
Yeah.
This is such a special day. The bride's gonna be so angry. The bride was laughing. Everyone was laughing. Everyone was in on the joke. And it was like watching it felt like you were watching a stand-up just kill at their Netflix special. Because
Yeah.
this is how much people were just dying.
Yeah.
Children were there still, and they were like, this is funny.
And I like I don't get me wrong, I like the speeches, and I think that the best man and maid of honor should do speeches. And I think everybody in the wedding, I like it. I like everybody in the wedding party that should. And guess what, Joe? You had to do
nice
an
segue.
impromptu speech. You were asked during the reception, hey, we'd like to have you do Actually, which was unfair is Marty went up to all his comedian friends who were all in a circle going, hey, I kind of want one of you guys to do a speech. Who's been willing to do it? And we all instantly pointed at you and said, Joe will do it.
And I was just like, what are we talking about? What?
Yeah. Wait, what's that? You're like literally coming back from the bar being like, what is this? Yeah, sure, I'll do it. Whatever.
Yeah.
We totally pimped you on that one.
I did give the speech. I think I did pretty good.
You crushed it.
Considering. Oh, thanks, man. I didn't go too long. I did like 5 to 7 minutes. I threw in some stand-up comedy references.
Mm-hmm.
I thanked the father of the bride and the maid of honor and best man. And I said, I'd like to thank my openers, which I feel like you did at your dad's funeral for the eulogy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you said, give it up for my openers. So yeah. And then I just, you say,
I did a callback.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I did. The key to any good speech from the man's point of view, the best man's point of view, or just any guy talking, you say sweet things about the bride, you roast the groom a little bit.
Which I like.
That's
That's a cliche I'm okay with.
That one's okay. But but you got to try to be original about it though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree with you, man, all the time. Like, I just know they were made for each other. That's what everyone says.
Right.
Okay. And 45% of these things end in divorce.
Yeah.
So 45% of these best men and maid of honor speeches where they make the claim, they're just perfect for each other. You're wrong.
Right.
All right. You just say like, yeah, they love each other. It's great. Throw a funny story or two in there.
Yeah, funny story.
And then say, hey, good meats, good God, let's eat. Whatever that fucking expression is. What's that one again? How's that go? You know that one? Did I nail it? Yeah, I know there's like a good meats, good eats, good meats, good God, let's eat. Like, that's
Okay.
something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah. I do like when somebody fucks up like a speech like that. We have a comedian friend that was at a comedian's wedding, who another friend of ours, his speech is always like, sometimes when you smell toast, you're having a stroke, but then you smell bacon, and that's breakfast, baby. Is like his toast. And then for some reason, this comedian like tries to make a speech, and he's just fucking it up to the point where he's just like, you know what? Well, fuck you, like to like the people laughing at him. And he goes, you want me to go up here to tell a fucking speech? He goes, fine, I'll try something. He goes, sometimes when you smell toast, it's breakfast. And then he walks away. And then he walks
That's
away.
beautiful. All right, let's get to our number ones.
Yeah.
I'll go
That's your
first. I said diarrhea because you never want diarrhea at a wedding, because then you stink up the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And the bathroom is a congregating area often at weddings.
Do you get a lot of wedding diarrhea?
It's happened to me once.
Okay.
One time, and it made it where dancing became a risk
Mm-hmm.
when you have wedding diarrhea because
Was it a white party wedding too?
Well, think about this: if you have diarrhea at a wedding and you do the electric slide, something else might slide out of you. You don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want to shit your thighs while you're fucking breaking it down low. You know what I mean?
It's electric. Shitty.
Boogaloo. Right? You don't want that at all.
Sometimes you poop out.
Yeah. But I'm not saying like the diarrhea is the wedding food's fault. Sometimes it's something you ate earlier that day.
Yeah.
You got the nerves going. And you're dehydrated, you're drinking more. It's just, diarrhea ruins everything, if we're being quite honest. There's very few times in your life where you're like, you know what would be good right now? Diarrhea.
Yeah.
Is there ever a good time for diarrhea?
Yeah.
When? Shut your
if
butt.
If you've been constipated for a couple days.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, you beg for it then.
Yeah.
You beg.
Or if you want to feel like you're losing weight.
Yeah, but if you have diarrhea 2 days in a row, they say you need to go to the hospital.
Really?
Or go see a doctor.
I should have went to the doctor 10 years ago.
Several times. Yeah. It is good for losing weight though, man.
It
Your abs
is.
look so good. If you have like a combination when you're real sick,
Yeah.
you have that combination of diarrhea and throwing up. Oh man, you look like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. You got that fucking V pointing to your dick. Love it.
And I'm going to add to this because I do want to say that a big plus, and this isn't your fans or your wedding party or your people who go to your wedding will not be mad about this, but oh my Lord, if you can find the reception is on the same building or premises as the hotel that everyone's staying at, yes, please. For a lot of different reasons. One, safer because people aren't drunk driving or trying to get Ubers, whatever. Two, you got diarrhea. It's right there.
Right there.
Like I will say my room was literally next to the reception and Daddy wasn't doing so good. The thing we were talking about, and I had to go there. You took a nap?
I did.
Yeah. It was
great.
It was one of the best experiences ever. Like I got blackout drunk, and guess what? I'm one door down. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
It was amazing. It was so amazing.
That's the best combination. I had that for my wedding. Hotel attached to the reception hall.
It's great.
Or whatever you want to call it.
Stay on premises.
The elevator rides.
Uh-huh.
You know, the wedding was at the top. The reception was the top floor. People were staying up and down, below.
Yeah.
The rooms were below. It's perfect. You know what kills me though? This has happened at a lot of weddings I've been to where the hotel is attached to the reception venue. And for whatever reason,
They don't put all the people who are staying in the block of rooms on one floor, and they really need to. They don't do that for some reason. And inevitably, the hotel management knocks on the door going, you guys are being a little loud, we're getting complaints. It's like, who the fuck are we getting complaints from? Right? Why don't they do that? When you have a block of hotel rooms for your wedding, put us all on the same floor. That way we can be allowed in parties as much as we want.
Yeah.
And you have to worry about dickheads who are on conferences complaining about you playing music too loud.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes I want to hear the Humpty Dance at 3 a.m.
Right. And also it's like how far do you book out? Like weddings don't do it like a month before. It's like,
No,
this
it's
is
way
it.
out. And you could shift people. You
Yeah.
could always say to someone, hey, look, we have you staying with us 2 months from now. We're asking if we could bring you up to the next floor. And they're
When do you ever
fine.
know what floor you're on? When you
I
order a
never
hotel?
know in
You never till you
advance.
show up.
Yeah, these hotels are just fucking dumb.
Yeah. They're
Put them all in the
stupid.
same fucking room.
Yeah, I have a
All
lot
right.
of friends that now are just like, hey, like you can switch it if you want, right?
Yeah.
And same thing with you can switch it if you want. You can't do that when you have open seating. And that's my number one, open seating.
Open seating is your least favorite thing at a wedding, huh?
I think it's stupid. Yeah. I think that or not a +1. That's more of a, I don't want to get into that. That could be a financial thing. But if we were all in our 30s, like give me a fucking +1.
Yeah, the only reason I would...
I want to get that nanny later, brother.
Nah, see, here's the thing with the +1s for weddings. If you are in a relationship that's committed at all, you get a +1.
Yes, yes.
But if
I'm
you're,
sorry, that's
if
what I
you're
mean.
single, you don't get a +1.
I'm okay with that.
Because you want single people at your wedding because
Right.
you want to hear later, right? You want to hear a couple days from now, hey, guess what?
Guess
you
who
know,
hooked
my
up with this?
bridesmaid, Katie, she fucked your friend Peter.
Is that a real
What?
thing that happened?
That I just made up those names.
Okay.
But that happens at weddings. People hook up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
great.
Which is great. And you know, it's hard to hook up for is if you don't have a singles table. And guess what? You know how you know if you have a singles table? When you have seating.
So that's why you're anti-open seating.
Well, I also hate it too because it's like sometimes it's like I want to sit close to the wedding party. I'm not fucking tackling Nana so I can get up there close. Because that's also those tables get to go to the buffet if there's a buffet first.
I've only been to a few buffet weddings. This was the most recent. I really dug it. I liked
Okay.
it. I liked
Yeah.
it a lot.
Yeah, we
actually.
can talk off camera about that one.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
The Mexican street corn.
Yeah,
Delish,
but I
man.
mean, like, also open seating. It's like I want to sit next to the people that like I'm there, like I'm related to, or I'm there for the wedding for. Like,
yeah, we had a great table.
yeah, we had a great table. I don't like when people. I get why, but I don't like when the people are just like, oh, like no. Then you kind of like meet new people. It's like I don't want to fucking meet new people.
I know. Yeah, that weddings are not for meeting new people.
No.
I mean, you might meet some new people who are there and talk. Because I've been to weddings where I don't know a lot of people, and we end up talking to some people at your table, and that's great. But we both had this look on our face, like we're never going to talk to each other again after this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what happens. My dad was always hilarious at weddings. I remember one wedding we were at. He said, "Hey, what table number are you?" And I'm like, "Table 9." He goes, "That's a good one."
Yeah,
And just the way he said that made me laugh because he had no idea who else was at the table.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, "Table 9." That's a good one. I was just like,
and I like the when they seat you because then you get to see how they look at you compared to other people at the wedding. Like I
Where
mentioned,
you
when I meant,
rank in
yeah,
their
yeah, where
friendship?
you rank, right? Like for us, we got sat pretty close to the groom, is all really close friends together, and I was like, they care. And I've been at weddings where I'm like, oh, like I said before, I'm with the fucking nightmares. They think I'm a fucking drunk piece of shit.
we had 7 people at our table.
Yes.
So we had myself and Ricky Gonzalez were both at. Ricky was at our table.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
it was not.
Oh, he was not.
So
That's right.
6.
We had 6.
Yeah.
So Danny was the single guy. I'm married, but my wife could not attend.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Me and my date, and then
she's
Colt and his
super
date.
pregnant.
Yeah.
And then you and Colt's wife, and then your girlfriend.
Yes.
So that was a good mix there.
It was a good mix.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. And
And-
6 at a table is perfect. Great.
That's nice. That's actually smaller than most weddings. I've seen most weddings probably 8 to 10, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
So big
Then it's 2
rounded
rounds
tables?
too far, and that's when they think they can have a huge fucking
No,
centerpiece.
we were so close to the bride and groom. No, it was a
Mhm.
great setup. I love that wedding, and I can't wait to see those 2 again.
Yeah, me too.
Jonah, why don't you tell the listeners where you're going to be, man?
Well, you know, if you can check me on my social medias to see where I'm going to be at. I'm going to be at Laugh Factory a couple of days coming up. Other than that, usually every Wednesday, Comedians You Should Know here in Chicago. Every Friday, the Blackout Diaries in Chicago. If you're in Chicago, we are taping a pilot for a streaming service. That part can't be said, but a pilot coming March 9th is coming up. It's going to be a big thing. We're having a lot of comics fly in for it. I know it's really far out, but just, you know, put it on your calendar.
Ooh, gotta get the big
Details to
names
come.
in. Getting the big names to fly in.
We're getting some.
Not the regulars who build the weekly show, the big names.
Yeah, we got to
I'm
sell
just
it.
fucking around.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just being a dick.
Joe, if your podcast did better, we'd have you on there,
Yeah, if my podcast did better.
like our podcast. Yeah.
I know.
It's mine when it's not doing well. It's ours when we get fucking 700,000 views on a video.
Yeah.
No, yeah, for sure, man. That's great. For my dates, everybody go to joekilgallon.com. I got a thing on there where you could tell me what town I should go to. So fill that out. Subscribe. You can subscribe on my website. So I could go to a town near you, and I would really appreciate that because my website's basically my punch-up page. I just have it directed to joekilgallon.com. And that's all I got to say about that. I do got to get on Blackout Diaries again. So I haven't been up there in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, tell all your friends about Let's Get Done. We've been, Austin's been kicking ass on the YouTube page and making amazing clips, and we've been posting a lot more on Instagram. So feel free to share those clips, follow us on the platforms, and we really appreciate that. Instagram and YouTube are the big ones we're pushing right now. And cheers to y'all. We'll be back next week.
Yeah.